Good good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode slash edition slash installment of Free Thinkers, where we talk about everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. So, if you've never watched before, make sure you got something to put in your ears, because we do have adult content and we do have adult language. So if you are a little nervous about people who may be hearing things, then just keep that in mind. We are You're free to express yourself however you want. Just make sure you got your own opinion. So this is definitely not a monologue. You are all welcome to join in. You can go to our Facebook page and you can get the link, and the link will show you show you how to connect in. If you've never been on StreamYard before, it's very, very simple. Just click on the link and then it'll just pretty much direct you on how to get in. So if you want to be a part of the conversation, then we will enjoy having you. If not, then you can also just stay on the comment thread. A lot of people do that as well, and let us know where you are watching from, where you're commenting from. We love to hear your input, your thoughts, your questions, your feedback on just what you think. And I think this topic that we're gonna have is gonna be a pretty interesting one because well, you know what? I don't know if it's gonna be that interesting, but it will be entertaining because I don't know how much substance is out of it. When I was talking to Denise earlier about this, I'm like, this we try to talk about things with a lot of fact and reason and logic. And this episode is going to deal primarily on opinion. So I don't know what you could take from that, but we're going to have some fun with it. So guys, make sure that you share the page. Make sure that you, if you haven't already, make sure you follow our YouTube page. And I think that's it. Did I forget anything, Denise? Oh, you muted.
No, I think you hit every point. Follow us, join the conversation. Be prepared to back your opinion up because we want to know why. We want to know why you think that way. We really actually don't want you to even agree with us because that makes it for a more interesting conversation. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. So before we get into the topic of the day, last week we had a great conversation live in person. Just wanted to rub that in there for Denise. And I was gonna tell you. So I think what we were talking. Did you know what we were talking about? Did we tell you?
No, I know nothing.
So the conversation. Oh, and it was good too. So the conversation was about what would change your mind. So basically,
why would not do this without me? Gosh.
We went down the road. Okay, hold on. So we're at a fork in the road right now. Mm-hmm. We can stick to where we were going, or we can touch on some of those questions because it'd be a different conversation. And so let me break it down for you first, what we actually talked about. So then you could decide which direction we want to go. So we went in a couple different arenas, and basically we started off from any strong stance or opinion or belief system that you have. Mm-hmm. What would it take to change your mind about that? So we had a couple different scenarios, and we was like, okay, political arena, who subscribes to this party. What would it take to change your mind on political affiliations? What would it take to change your mind from certain spiritual affiliations? What would it take? It was so several things that we talked about, and it was like, what would it actually take to change my mind pertaining to something that I have these strong opinions about?
You know what's funny? I literally had that thought earlier today. Because I wanted to do a PSA.
Okay.
And the PSA was going to be like this. Listen, y'all. Everybody has their own opinion. Y'all are yelling from the rooftops about your political opinions about whatever, because I don't care, because I don't vote, because I tapped out back in 2016. I said I was done. I said I'm out. Give me somebody I like or I'm out. Until y'all give me somebody I like, I'm not coming back. And I tapped out. But, so I have no bias in this because I'm not picking either one up.
So let me ask you this.
Said,
go ahead.
I was like, y'all do realize that you're not going to convince somebody to vote for someone else that feels just as strongly as you do about your political opinions. It's not going to happen. So all this yelling and shit on the internet and saying, you're not swaying anybody with any of this. It's done. You're cooked. Let it go. Move on. Stop stressing out. Be hard up arguing with your family members, arguing with your friends, ruining relationships for what? For what? Because I need to see a really major change if I'm going to be going back and forth with somebody and ruining my relationship with somebody and feeling like it's all over with. Like, I don't feel like I'm going to see that.
I have a thought about that, but let me ask you a qualifying question first. Back when you did vote or participate in that activity, did you lean one way more? Did you lean more one way or the other when it comes to Democrat versus Republican?
1,000%. Because the first time I was able to vote, obviously, I was literally had turned 18. I think. Wait, let me see. When did Obama go in? 08?
Think it was maybe.
So voting was like 07, right?
It was like the it was 08. So yeah, going into 09, right at that time. Hold on, or maybe was it 12? Hold on.
No. It wasn't 12. It was not 12. It was not that far.
Okay, so it had to be 08 then.
Okay, so 08. He became president in 08, right?
Yeah. Inaugurated in 09, but yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we voted in 08, right? Mm-hmm. I'm in 08, let's see. I'm like 20. Probably, yeah, I'm like 20 and I don't know nothing.
Okay.
It's 2008. At first, I mean, I had no understanding of, this is how I used to vote when I was younger. I would just be like, I don't like their attitude.
Oh, that's how most people vote now. Ain't nothing changed. That's how people vote now.
I don't like the way they talk.
Right.
They seem racist. Like, that's how I
Yep.
So that is how I used to vote, right? And then, because I'm young, I'm 20, I don't even really know what to want. I don't even know what things really affect me. Like, I don't know. I'm so young. Like, it's not like we're like really properly educated on what to look for, And so, anyway, so then at first I was going to vote for Hillary. This is back in 2008 because I was like, oh yeah, this is how I literally rationalized it.
Right.
I was like, well, Bill was president, so she was in the mix, so she should know something. Mm-hmm. Right? Then I watched the debate, and she was talking to Obama crazy, and that triggered me. Because I was like, the white
I don't like your attitude.
I can't have that. I'm not voting for her. I'm voting for Barack. So, like, it was like no real logic in any of my choices. Like, it was no, his stance is this on this. Like, there was nothing. There was literally nothing going on. And then I was like, well, he is black too.
Hold on, time out for half a second. What check me out with Hillary is she start crying. Obama won like Iowa, and then he won like the first 2 states in the primary election. And she starts to cry. Go look it up. Just go look it up. I'm like, you can't be a president crying. I can't. like Tom Hanks said, there's no crying in baseball. There's no crying as a you want me to vote for you as the president and you crying because you lost a couple states?
That's gotta be fake tears. I don't even want to get
it. Might, but it was a bad look.
That can't be like Hillary don't look like she cried. I know a woman who don't really be crying like
What's
that.
What's up, Kevin?
Right. Hello, Kevin. I ain't seen Kevin since Black Tea Talk.
Kevin moved on us and didn't even tell us.
What?
Kevin out in Colorado somewhere. I was like,
shout out to Kevin.
On my birthday, Nikki came through. We were like, Kevin, where you at? You need to come through. He's like, oh yeah, I left Texas. Right. I'm like, oh okay, well that explains it.
But yeah, so then I was like, so I really wasn't picking based on anything else, and then Barack came again, and at this point, I got to be like 24 or something like that, and I'm just kind of like. He did cool. He did a good job. He representing us well. I don't know who Mitch. What's his name? Mitch. Who was?
Oh, Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney. I don't know enough about him.
What is a Mitt? What's a Mitt? I don't even know what that is.
And then
who has a name Mitt?
Like from some place, and at the time, the state that
Salt Lake City. He was Mormon.
Yeah, they had a lot of bad press because they was doing the sister wife thing. They was like it was just bad press for that state he was from. It was crazy. I think he was Mormon.
Well, that's politics in itself. Of course it's gonna be bad press. They're gonna pull up everything that you and your affiliations have ever done. You saw what they tried to do Obama with Jeremiah, right?
Yeah. He had to cut ties quick.
Yeah.
But and so
Obama should have cut ties even before he went into, like, if you know anything about the AME church and you know the history of the AME church, you know if you're trying to be the president of the United States, you can't affiliate yourself with that.
Listen,
and I ain't even saying they bad, but they're
not politically clean.
No, not at all. And their whole split was from the original Methodist church because the Methodists would have black people preaching, but at the same time they still wouldn't let them sit up in the same area as the white people. They would let black people preach, but still have them sitting back in the balcony. And they're like, what's up with that? We good enough to preach for you and help raise money for you, but our people still can't be treated as equal. And they branched off. And that's why it's AME, African Methodist Episcopal. So anyway, keep going.
So then, and like all the things that worked on me then just don't work on me now. I was like, dang, well, shoot, Oprah endorsed them. And this is when Oprah still was like, she was like Oprah at this point. She like was at the pinnacle of her show. Like
she ain't Oprah no more?
Oprah don't got the same cachet Oprah had then.
Ooh, okay. I didn't know that. Go ahead.
Oh, no.
Did Monique take her down a peg or what happened?
Huh?
I said, did Monique take her down a peg or what happened?
It was a variety of things. We can get into. But and then I was like, oh shoot, like, you know, these people are endorsing her again. All the stuff that they do now, like celebrity endorsements, you be thinking, oh, this person must be solid. Like if don't know it. I'm 24.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I just took that and took this. I'm like, okay, I'm still thinking. Let me think. Early 20s. All right, keep going.
I don't know shit.
Right. I got you.
I'm like, shit, he black. He gonna, because you know, as a black person, I'm like, he gonna look out. Like I just know, like he gonna look out, because that's just like our thing that we feel like any black person would look out for us because we know how the struggle was. So then fast forward to 2016. I was hard up gonna vote for Bernie. I was like, yo, he's trying to reduce these school loans. If I know nothing else, I know I need to take care of these school loans. He's trying to get that out of here. He's trying to make it for the free. I'm like, I'm about that.
Bernie's for the people, even though he was more, he was really close to a socialist, but he was for the people though. I was definitely team Bernie, no question.
I was team Bernie. It seemed like everybody was team Bernie. It seemed like we was all on one accord with that. Nope. Got him the fuck out of here. I said, oh, word? And then they were like, yeah, because y'all got to vote in the primaries or this or that or whatever it was. And I was just like, dang. So it's again, me not.
You know, it seemed kind of rigged to me.
Huh? It was, come on.
I was like, I felt like Bernie had more steam than Hillary. And then somehow it's like, what? it didn't seem right to me. I feel that felt rigged to me.
It was definitely rigged because it's like either everybody was just loud and didn't know, like Nikki said, she voted for Bernie in the prelims. I was
Nikki
not
voted for somebody. You know she was.
Oh, yo, you know, Nikki was it. Nikki probably
Bernie had to be doing something
10 years before. but like the fact is, I wasn't educated enough on what to do, how to vote for whoever I wanted to, like even the I just didn't know enough about politics to even know what to do. But once I seen that and I saw where we were going with it, and I was like, y'all gonna give us this lady, and I'm telling y'all she not gonna win. Because y'all not gonna force my hand. I'm only when I finally got the right to vote, I was gonna vote for who I wanted to. And if that meant no one, that meant no one. So that's kind of how I got here. So I was like, what could convince other people to vote for other people if they're dead set? And that's where that came from. And I was like, shit, what the fuck could convince me right now to vote? And I just don't think that anything could.
Oh, so you said, okay, so now from the standpoint of you have checked out of the whole voting game period. Is that right?
I'm out.
So what could a party do? A party, or if you checked out a voting period, what could a party or a person do or stand on that will get you to say, you know what, I'm about to get up off my sofa. I'm voting for this person. Or I'm voting for this party.
You know, would be really simple for me. Like, literally, I feel like most people who are in debt because of school loans. Truly. And if somebody had a real plan on how to help the American people not have to go into debt, which our whole shit is built on debt. So,
right.
But if somebody had a real plan on things like people being able to go to school for free, get their higher education. Like if somebody was saying things like, even if you couldn't go to school for free.
I think somebody said that. I think I did say that, like free higher education. That would be like, okay, hey.
I would be like,
I'm on y'all side now.
And I'd be like, is it retroactive? Because if it's retroactive, I might get on the campaign trail myself. Every free thinkers, I'd be like, cause yeah. Like, you know, like something like that. What else I think is just like really messed up?
So one of the things, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say one of the things, and I believe this was what Nikki said last week. She talked about reparations. If a party was actually had a plan to offer, say they said, you know what, ICE, you know what, Cube, we like what you're doing. We're gonna adopt this and we're gonna put this into a bill. So would that be something that would get you on the bandwagon?
Reparations for me, we've talked about this on the show. What I would like reparations to be, which I would feel like it'd be an easy thing to do, is, again, if y'all not gonna give free education to everybody, y'all should give it to us. Like we should be able to go to college for free. Just like Native Americans, if they can prove, which we can't prove, which is very intentional. Most Black people have Native American blood, but we can't prove it because documentation. But if we could go to college for free, that would be one thing. If we talked about this on the show, if we got some sort of like grants for houses, to buy houses.
Yes, and foundational Black Americans, we don't have to pay taxes on these houses. You feel that?
Or taxes, period. Taxes.
Yes. See, you see that? That's okay. Now we getting into some reparations.
So it's like y'all can't give everybody a check, right? But there's some things that you could do. That we could be like, all right, okay.
And even if they were serious about starting the process, maybe it's a process of reparation. But if someone had the mindset to say, hey, we really need to change this around and even the playing field because of the imbalance of our previous history, to level this back out, these are some of the things we're going to start putting in place.
That can make me vote. And I mean like a real plan.
Right. Okay, we're gonna dance with this a little dance this couple more minutes, and then we go into what we're gonna talk about. The second thing we talked about. Do you identify religiously with any affiliated organized religion? Would you call yourself a Christian or a Buddhist or a Church of God in Christ or Baptist, or I don't know, like do you attach or accept any religious labels?
I don't necessarily say, hey, I'm a Christian, right? But I do have a lot of Christian principles. And when the rubber hits the road, when it gets real over here, okay, I can tell you who I call upon. so if that answers your question, then you could call me Christian. If someone called me Christian, I wouldn't be mad at it. But when the rubber's hitting the road and I got to get down and pray, and I got to bring some things in, you could throw everything else out the window. We not even, don't even, no.
Okay, good. Thank you for the baseline. Now this is going to be kind of a softball.
Okay.
Because by a classification standpoint, Catholicism is listed as a branch of Christianity. Mm-hmm. What could a minister or priest or person say or do or offer you or present? What could they do to get you to be a part of a Catholic church?
Baby, y'all gotta be catching the Holy Ghost.
So y'all
want to catch the Holy Ghost?
I need to see some of y'all speaking in tongues.
Yeah. Y'all want to catch the Holy Ghost? Y'all want to speak in tongues? I don't want to go nowhere if we just gonna be. See, no, because I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to offend no Catholic people. And I know I need.
But they ain't even just Catholic. Like
church.
Traditional Baptists will pull you out of the church if you start speaking in tongues and catching the spirit. They're gonna take you outside.
I need you to catch the spirit. I need to be able to go to church because see, usually when I get to the point where I gotta go up in a church house, I need to get a good crying. I need to get a good worshiping. If I'm going to the church house, I'm going to the church house. I'm not going to the church house to look like I'm at a PTA meeting. That's not what I'm there for.
Right.
That's what convinced me to be Catholic. Y'all catch the Holy Ghost. For real. And y'all go over on time. And y'all got different songs.
You said y'all. Okay, let me ask you. Ooh, okay. So now this is I need you to really put on a free thinker's cap right here. Because this is hard to do, and I realize that when people believe a certain way, it's hard for them to even go into hypotheticals to even. If an atheist was trying to convert you, what could they do or say to change your mind about the existence of God in itself?
I need to. You know that scripture, not to be bringing up scripture in the atheist conversation, but you can tell a tree by the fruit it bears. Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, okay, I hear you and I feel you. But how does your thing work? I'm over here because I need something to work when everything is going bad. I need to believe in something. I need to feel as though I am anchored in something. If you got a thing like that over in the atheist camp,
what's your solution?
Talk about it.
Right. Okay. So, man, and I'll be asking questions, don't think about them myself. Mm-hmm. And this sounds so extra. I sound like Dave Chappelle trying to take up for R. Kelly on the Chappelle show. I would need an atheist. You know what I'm talking about. I would need an atheist they would have to have the technology that would allow me to live forever. Like, hey, we got this new technology. Ain't nobody got to die no more. See, because if I don't have to die, then the questions about the afterlife are not going to be as important.
Oh.
And at least that will give me like, okay, let me see what y'all talking about. Let me see what y'all got going on. That would at least move the needle for me to be like, hey, okay, let me see what y'all talking about. But outside of that, if all you say is, nope, God don't exist, the way you think is stupid, I'm like, okay, tell me about what you think. I don't believe in nothing. I believe in myself. Oh, that ain't enough for me.
Okay, so Q, I got a question for you.
Let's go.
So a lot of your, just based on what you said just now, a lot of your belief system is based in what you think will happen after, and less so about what you need right now.
No, but no, not at all. Actually, more of my belief system. Okay, let me say it like this: when you talking about your early 20s, let me take you back to my early 20s. Early 20s, how you said it was it. My focus was more on the afterlife than the current. Where I'm at now, very little has to do with the afterlife. Not because I don't believe in it, but because that thing is already solidified for me. What I mean, when it's my time to come out of this flesh, wherever the creator is, I will reconnect with the creator. I have no doubts about that. So I don't have to keep dwelling on that. I don't have to keep, look, I'm good. I'm fine to the point I don't even think about it no more. But what I do use my faith and my religion for is to make sure that I'm living the most productive, fruitful life here on this earth, and that I'm putting myself in position to help others discover themselves and their purpose and get the fulfillment out of themselves as well. That's really my only focus. That other stuff, I don't, well, you want to make it to heaven? I'm already there. I ain't worried about it. I'm good. So I don't think like that at all.
Okay, I got a question.
But the reason I don't think about it, I ain't gonna say I don't think. If I had questions in my mind, then I would think about it. But that thought has already been sold up in my head, so I don't have to keep thinking about it because it's a past thought for me, or it's an already solidified thought, I guess.
This made me think about something. This girl was trying to have me go get my palm read, and we may have talked about this a couple weeks ago, and yeah, we did, which actually shifted my mindset quite a bit, right? When you were saying the thing about how you feel like God knows that we don't need to know everything because it just we wouldn't like it. It wouldn't work out. Life wouldn't be enjoyable. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
it wouldn't actually, the more you know, we assume that it's going to enhance the quality of our life. But if you look at Solomon, the truth is it didn't. All the wisdom and knowledge that he had, it did not help him as far as the way that his quality of life. He was at the end of his life talking about vanity, everything is worthless under the sun, blah, blah, but he was like all that information. And I say this oftentimes. I'm like, a lot of times sometimes I wish I was more simple-minded. Simple-minded people seem a lot happier to me. So oftentimes, so it's like, right. But yeah, that part. So let me see what this is real quick, and then I'm gonna jump to Yahuka now. Okay, so Kevin says they hold on. Let me see if I'm on the right one. Oh, okay. No. Okay, so I'm looking at the other one. So Kevin said, I will go where someone will say, I speak to God. And when he speaks to God, he opens the roof of the church to speak to him. He said, I need to see the literal. I see God there saying, I am God. So he's just saying, Forget all the faith stuff and the unseen. I need to visibly, with my tangible physical senses, I need the proof.
But then, even then, do you believe it?
Oh. Do you believe it, Kevin? Even after then, would you believe it?
After that.
Now, based off, it seems simple, but based off of a lot of stuff that maybe not that obvious, but there's a lot of stuff that gets much more obvious, and people still like. I saw somebody. I don't know what podcast I was watching, and it kind of disappointed me a little bit. You know who it was? It was Willie D.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Willie D. But it disappointed me because he's such a smart guy, and I'm like, how could you be that smart, but then be that dismissive at the same time too? So I'm gonna make this super short. So my sister was telling me about something that happened a little while back where Tabitha Brown went one way up and down Wendy Williams because she said some sideways stuff about her marriage, and Tabitha Brown got her straight this and that. Mm-hmm. So then when I started looking into it, Tabitha Brown, then Amanda Seales called Tabitha Brown a witch. But it was also said that Tabitha Brown, Shannon Sharp said, Tabitha Brown told me that I was going to get fired from the current show that I was on.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
But the things, everything's gonna turn out and you're gonna be in a better spot than you was before. So Willie D was talking about this, and he was just saying, hey, yeah, she said this, but all of it actually happened. Everything that she said happened, and he just chalked it up to, do you believe that that's real? Yeah, people can just make up anything, or they can try to read you, or they'll just guess, and eventually it'll come true. So obviously there was something when a person can see and what they see manifest, and for him to just dismiss it and was like, I know it seemed like it was something special, but it wasn't. I'm like, come on, man. You got to do a little better. I have a hot take. Let's go.
The research that I've done and things that I've seen and some of the people I've come across, I think some of the most kind of like more like what you would consider successful people are highly and very spiritually intuitive.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And so she may be someone who has like a gift of prophecy. It's not about,
of course,
her putting a da-da-da on somebody. It's just her being like, look, you need to know.
No, all of that. So whether Amanda Seales wanted to call her a witch, or somebody else calls her a prophet or a seer or whatever, my whole point is, any person, whatever you believe, at some point you should acknowledge that there's another realm past this physical realm that we see.
Why? But why? And why do people have to acknowledge that though?
You don't have to, but I think that you should.
Why?
Because
to a person that doesn't believe in that, why?
So because
what did you do to convince them?
No, ain't. But see, okay, Denise, this goes back to your point that even if God did open up the roof and speak to you and say, "I am God," would you believe it? That's my point where I was going with.
Okay, gotcha.
Because a person who it's what is your explanation for it? And I ain't saying you. I'm saying the person who discredits another person's ability to see or prophesy or foretell. What's your explanation for it? And usually their explanation for what happened is weak. If you just saying somebody just guessed and they kind of stumbled upon it, really, that's weak.
What is that one thing that you said how the earth got put together? It was what was it? Some sort of spontaneous.
What was that?
What did they say?
Oh, yes. Tell me. Thank you. What is it that has ever been created that just look around. I'm looking everywhere in my room. I'm trying to think of one thing that I can blow up and explode and it creates into something.
Into several things.
That all work in harmony as one. See, I can't even go that deep.
Human life that is able to, one group is able to mix with another group to then duplicate.
So again, Denise, their rational explanation makes less sense than mine saying, I don't understand exactly what that is, but that comes from another realm, that comes from a spiritual side, that comes from something that's unseen. I may try to tap into it, I may try to understand it, but I don't fully. But I do acknowledge that this is something that goes past my five senses. And for you not to acknowledge that, that's when you start sounding silly to me. Like, for instance, at least, my Christian brothers and sisters, when they run across somebody who's does palm readings or tarot cards or whatever like that, and at least they'll say, oh yeah, they get that power from the devil. Whether it's true or not, they are acknowledging that this person possesses a certain power that goes past our normal senses. At least acknowledge that. Now, you might want to say that it comes from a different source, but you acknowledge that this is not something that's in our normal day-to-day activity that can easily just be explained away.
But that's because they believe in spirituality at all. But for a person who just simply does not believe in that, they think the same thing. Like,
and Denise, I think people get silly. I think people get silly when you try to do everything in your power to dismiss spirituality.
I can understand how a person thinks that spirituality is crazy. The stories that are in the Bible, the Quran, and all these other spiritual texts are absurd. These stories sound crazy. Like, I can see how a person could be an atheist and be like, my stuff might sound crazy, but that sounds really crazy. Like, I can honestly understand logically why a person is like, no.
Denise, I don't knock people for saying that Bible stories are far-fetched and crazy, but I do knock people. No, they are, and there's a lot of them. And that's why I said I'm not an infallible Bible reader that thinks that the Bible is it's two modes of thought. Some people think that the Bible is infallible and it's everything is God inspired 100%. Some people believe that it is. Some people believe that man has influence in it. The other part is from the biblical stories, everything is actual. So all the stories, the Bible, the world was literally created in 6 days. Samson took 1,000, killed 1,000 men with the jawbone of a donkey. Like, some people literally believe that all of those things happen exactly the way that they say it. And whereas I'm more of a figurative person, there's some things are literal, historical, some things are allegory, some things are figurative, and you got to figure out what's what. So I don't knock people who say, yeah, the Bible got far-fetched stories. But in an instance, if you see somebody prophesy about something that you've never heard nobody else say before, and it actually happens, I wouldn't just try to explain that away with ration.
Why do you think a person would do that?
Because they refuse to tap into something that they don't understand. See, it makes more sense for me to say, and this is me as a free thinker, it makes more sense for me to be like, I don't know, versus me feeling like I have to have an explanation for everything.
But that is the explanation. Like, spirituality, to me, spirituality allows for you to have an explanation where you don't have one. Because you can be like, I don't know, but it feels like it might be something going on. Like, I do it all the time. I be feeling funny. I'm like, is somebody trying to put something on me? I need to pray this up. Like, like I will create an explanation for things because I have the spiritual aspect of it. So when I don't understand it, I put it on the spirituality and I'm like, okay, well, we gotta undo what was done, or we gotta pray some things in. Like, it gives you the explanation when you don't have the explanation. Just like death. We technically don't know what happens with death. No one knows.
No,
but if you
of course
have a
not.
spiritual practice, you are under the impression that you have some kind of idea of what can happen. It makes you feel like you know more. And
I see what you're saying, but that part is not my point. So what I'm saying is, even from the standpoint of, I'll use the example of, like I said, say we're talking about witches and sorcery. So that's a power I don't subscribe to, but I won't try to
dismiss it.
Thank you. I won't try to dismiss it or try to give logic to why it's not real, or it was just an illusion. It's not what you think. And that's all I'm saying. The same way that I won't sit there and dismiss something even that I don't believe in, because to me, it doesn't make logical sense for me to dismiss something that I clearly just saw or heard or witnessed or experienced has some truth to it. If I know for a fact that you go to a palm reader, and say we just go on a road trip somewhere and we go to a palm reader and they start reading you down and this and this and this, I know you don't know this person. I know that there's no natural way that they can know these things about you that they do. So why would I try to give a natural dismissal of what they were doing? What am I gonna say? Oh, they look in the phone book. These palm readers, they got social media too. They probably been looking on your page and they saw, like, you can try to dismiss something, but it's more far-fetched the way people dismiss it than it is just accepting. Yeah, that's they on a different plane with that. That's me. So you sparked all of that up when you said, in response to what Kevin said, hey, God come in, open it up, be like, I am God. And it's like, would you still believe it? And a lot of people wouldn't.
No one can do anything to convince you of something unless you're open to being convinced, is what it all boils down to. Like, you got to really be open to it. If God, like, the whole thing with Jesus coming down and doing his thing, right? And everybody's like, man, bro, you is not the son of God. If you're the son of God, walk on water then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're the son of God, then feed all of us right quick.
But if somebody did start walking on water, would they believe that was a miracle? You know what? I wouldn't even believe it. I'm like, oh, that's AI.
Exactly.
So you can dismiss anything.
Exactly. If that's what you're on, you're going to dismiss it. If you don't want to believe it, you're not going to believe it. Bring me back to my point. There's nothing anybody can do to make somebody vote for anybody they don't want to vote for y'all be going back and forth on the internet with each other. Right. And y'all out here looking crazy. Just stop.
So it was, and listen, let me say, Yehuga now, we just talking, so just jump on in. Don't wait. Yeah. Just talk.
Just talk, just be talking.
Well, I ain't say all that. I'm just saying, we ain't waiting on no hand or nothing like that. Just interject wherever you feel the spirit leads you to talk.
Yeah. I got it.
Nikki said, and this was earlier, so she said, so it's just a hope. It's a party in heaven forever. From our perspective, yes.
You know what I was thinking about?
Because we don't know. We don't know.
When we were talking, what if the afterlife is not what we think it is? Like, you know how they're like, oh, there'll be no more sorrow, and there'll be this and that.
Get over there. It's racism. It's racism over there.
You get there and you still feeling away. You like,
oh man. I'd be messed up.
It's a new version of a bill that needs to be paid or something. Like a new version of like what heartbreak is. Like we really don't know. It's very interesting to think about like what we think the afterlife is going to be versus like what it might actually be. Because like, what if in the afterlife still be sad? And like, what if in the afterlife, would we, like how when someone passes we grieve, what if people in the afterlife grieve too? Like they're sad.
Okay, so what if it's a and then Carrie, I see where you saying sound distorted. It could be my sound distorted. I did show when I did high IQ yesterday, I think my mic did sound a little distorted. So just let me know. I'm probably too loud or whatever.
Because it could be my phone. Let us know whose sound is distorted.
Yeah. So dang it, I was just about to say dang it.
What if heaven isn't what we think it is?
Okay. So what if what we call heaven is just another plane or realm, really just like Earth, but instead of matter, then we're made up of dark matter. And once we get to that, then we still have a finite period of time before we go to the next dimension. So we're still gonna be doing the same thing at the next location, talking about I need to get to Jupiter. I don't know what they call it, where the final place is that we think. And maybe it just never ends. Maybe the way that we look at reincarnation as we keep coming back on this earth in different forms, maybe we just keep coming back on different planes in different forms, or like,
it's like
never
a time
know.
travel. It's like a time travel.
Yeah. That's one of the things I was going to ask on percentage. We ain't gonna get to the percentage part right there. That's all right, because we are. But yeah. So okay. So even go further than that, Denise, because even when you said time travel, I am of the strong belief that anything our human brains can imagine or think of, it exists already somewhere at some point in time. So the fact that we can even conceive or think about time travel, I think time travel exists.
I do. I think some version of it. Like I have a theory. I've been thinking about this for years now. And actually, I watched Interstellar within the last 9 months, like for the first time.
People keep telling me about that. I'm gonna have to look at that.
And I am convinced that time is not linear. I think there is a version of me doing something right now, and I feel like the me now, and let me tell you what really had me thinking this. When I was recording my songs, I recorded Do the Impossible, and I was talking to the different versions of myself, like the 11-year-old me, and like the 25-year-old me, 24-year-old me, and like I was talking to that version of me, and it felt so spiritual and so intense. I was like, what if right now, what I'm doing right now is going to affect what those versions of me think, so that they can help me get here? And
hold on, back up. That's what I do. Snap my finger. I need you to back up real quick. Back to 10 seconds up. Let's go back again. Say that again.
What if what I'm doing right now affects the younger me's, and I'm trying to get the message to the younger me's so that I can be who I am right now?
Wow. That's
like it all really affects each other. And so it's like, I got to do
back to the
this
future
for them,
type stuff.
so they can do it for me.
That's Back to the Future right there. I gotta save my parents, and so that my parents, so that my parents can end up, yeah.
Okay. Oh shit, that's so funny. Okay, so I also had this theory too. Damn, you just know. Hold on, wait. Actually, this just fucked me up so hard. When I was making my album, right, and I'm listening to my grandma tell me these stories about my grandpa and how my grandpa and my grandma broke up. She gave him his ring back and everything. I kind of had this idea in my head that I'm trying to get them back together. I'm like, bro,
Back to the
if
Future.
y'all don't get back together, I don't exist. I think you guys
That's funny.
So I wonder, like, I feel like okay, do you ever deeply imagine your younger self?
How young?
It doesn't even matter. It could be 5 years ago. Do you ever deeply imagine that person and almost feel like you're doing something for that person? Like I'm doing something for you. Like,
I don't think so. No, I don't
no?
think so. No.
How do you view time? Do you think time is linear?
I think that there's no that's not an easy answer. Time is linear based upon the rules that we're given in this flesh. So I think this physical, like with the me in this body, there's certain rules and limitations. It's just like you can ask someone about a law, but that law only applies in the US. Like don't quote well the law, what's right or what's wrong, and we in France. It's a different law book, it's a different set of rules. They may drive on the opposite side of the road, everything. So me making this right hand turn might be legal in the US, but when you on the opposite side, then that's the wrong thing to do. So it's like it's just, when you ask me is time linear based upon the rules that we operate in right now, yes. But I think in different areas and different time, we did I don't know if you remember this, back when we was at the coffee shop, we did a conversation about revisionist history. I don't know if you were there or not, but
I wasn't there.
And basically, it was my whole conversation was, how should certain people be looked at? So, for instance, like should all presidents be thought of as wicked and evil presidents if they had slaves? At the time, slavery was legal. It was normal. It was something that was accepted. So do we fault them for that? Maybe earlier on when someone put their hands on their woman, on their wife or something like that. That's a terrible, we know primary examples that we don't even speak of on some of our biggest historical figures, that they were beaters and philanderers and stuff like that. And we don't really speak on it, but should they be canceled because they operated in a different time that allowed you to do certain things? So, I mean, that's anyway, that was just I was just saying that as far as we can't go.
That's a good question, though. Are we gonna answer that question? Because I was
thinking
about that today too. This is my stance. My partner says I shouldn't do this, but I'm like, guys, if we're gonna start this like high horse thing, this never ends. Let me tell you, you're gonna have to grow your own food. You're gonna have to make your own house, make your own cement. Like, there's so many people that should be canceled, if you will, that we still like buy their whatever. I don't know whoever made this. I don't know where this is made. Some kid may have made this thing. Like, I don't know, but it cost me probably like $5 because that's what I can afford. You know what I mean? It's like, where does the canceling end?
Right.
I think there's.
And should I or you be canceled because we actually purchased something that was made from someone in a sweatshop and they got paid, 50 cents for working the whole day?
And we're contributing to that. Like, I mean, so it's just like there's like, if you're going to cancel, it needs to be a legit reason why. Not a person just did something that may be a little immoral.
Yeah, their evil needs to transcend time.
What does canceling do? Maybe people need to be rehabilitated. Maybe conversations need to be had. Maybe things need to be talked about. Because canceling is just like another way of sweeping something under the rug in a way. It's just like, bye, you no longer exist. We're getting rid of all of your music and all of your like, but there's no real conversation being had. So it's like, are we even solving for the problem? Or are we just pretending the problem didn't exist by pretending this person doesn't exist? By like completely and totally removing their livelihood. It doesn't create a space for people to actually change, because all people are going to do now is just hide their shit better.
Yep. Absolutely. 100%. I wouldn't say, but sorcery is an energy that manifests just as much as prayer. Maybe.
I agree.
I don't discount sorcery, but so Nikki, that's my point. I don't.
Hey, they
sorcery.
Put it on me, but it don't work. It don't work. The weapon's gonna form. It may even graze me a little bit, but it's just simply not gonna prosper.
But the difference. What I'm talking about is, I'm not going to say that it's not a thing, like it doesn't exist.
Well, it does.
Right. So that's my whole, going back to the whole Willie D thing, when you just dismiss something because you don't subscribe to it, that sounds sillier to me than just saying, yeah, that's something I don't really subscribe to. It's some type of power. I don't really subscribe to it. I don't tap into it, but it is something. We just saw, she said it and it did happen, and everything that she said happened. So obviously she got some type of gift.
You know what they say? Seeing is believing.
Who said that?
Sometimes seeing ain't even believing. Sometimes.
I know, that's what I said. Who said that?
Oh, that is a saying that goes around, and because y'all heard it.
I heard it. I don't know if I believe it.
Most people don't believe. Like, if you tell somebody that giants existed on this earth many years ago, you're gonna have some people that's not gonna believe that. No. They're gonna say that's a fairy tale. That's just fairy tale-ish. It's just a fable, something that just made up. It's make believe. So, a person that's not going to believe in, you're just talking about as far as like, does God exist, or, does he, come down or something like that? Not a lot of people's going to believe that unless they see something that, I guess, exuberate his existence in a sense to where you can believe that he does exist. So you're going to have those people that is not going to believe something, a story that's being told, and be like, and they'll probably would say, even if they don't say it, I believe that when I see it, kind of thing. So, it's topsy-turvy. Some people may believe, seeing is believing, some may don't, like, you just stated, but as the saying goes, seeing is believing in regards to some things that may seem abnormal to the human psyche or to the human brain, because that's something we don't see on a daily basis. We don't see normally, as far as like talking animals. You don't see that every day. You don't see animals that, and I'm not talking about parrots. I'm talking about like a donkey or horse or, a snake or something like that.
So Huguenon, I'll tell you you could have someone, if someone made this super highly technical airplane, and you could physically, from the beginning to the end, fly up into the sky, keep going through the barrier, fly into space, and then you can keep your camera on the whole time and angle down to show that the Earth is a ball.
Nikki
and people still.
Nikki about to get interviewed.
This is me. Hey, Denise, this is me trolling at my finest. And you can see that it's a ball, and the people who believe in flat Earth still will not believe it, no matter what. So that's why I'm like, seeing is not. I think
believing is believing. Seeing is not believing.
That's the new one right there. Believing is believing, and that goes across for flat earthers, hardcore Christians, Republicans, Trumpsters. Is believing, and when people decide they believe something, there's very little that you could do to really change their mind.
Nope.
I say it like this. I think that there's I don't really think there's outside force that can change your mind. The only thing that's really going to change a person's mind is from within, oftentimes. So even let's go back to the church. It's really not people on the outside. Atheists ain't changed somebody's mind about church. It's some fuck shit that happened in the church that changed people's mind about the church.
Or within like themselves, right? Because like the reason why I believe in God so hard and spirituality so hard is my personal experience, like my personal, what I've seen, what I've prayed for, what I'm talking about. I could literally say I need 3 signs. What I did this last year. I was like, God, I need 3 signs. One needs to be an actual sign. One needs to be a dream, and one needs to be something. I had that happen all within, like, I want to say maybe 72 hours. Everything I asked for, I literally got, 2 of which happened within the same 24 hours. Like, I want to say it may have all happened in 24 hours, actually, now that I'm thinking. But I was like, God, I need a sign. It needs to be da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, come on. What are the odds of that? And maybe I was looking for all of these things, too. But it was like, nah, ain't that much coincidence in the world, bruh.
No, I agree. So I absolutely agree. And yeah, it's not that many coincidences in the world, and it's so it again, it confuses me. So okay, so I give you an example. So, and that's the part I don't understand about people who completely go away from their faith or their belief system or God totally. The people who do that, for me, I feel that they never had a true experience, because I don't know how you have a real personal experience, like you said, and still deny that experience, like what happened actually didn't happen. Now, what you can do, you can lose your faith in a certain organized religion. Like, oh yeah, I don't F with, Jehovah's Witnesses no more. I don't F with them Baptists around. Like, you can have a experience about an organization and say, I don't subscribe to the way that you guys believe or how you teach. But what I did experience, like you were just talking about, how do you later convince yourself that what you just said happened didn't really happen that way?
I think that you can have a more negative experience of something that can then change how you view other things, or make you just kind of dismiss those things that may have happened. If you've had so many negative experiences, and not even with other people or within the religion, just in life. And I personally know someone I'm very close to who's had so many really messed up things happen to them. Overall, good person. Like, they're, you know what I mean? Some people, you like, overall, just a good person, but they've had so many bad things happen to them that it makes it, and it's hard for them and really impossible for them to even believe in a higher power, because they just can't make sense of why all of these things happen to them. And they had spiritual experiences when they were younger.
Right.
But they're just like, but what's all of this? So it's like, I get, like, something just as bad can happen that can make you think like, no, atheism is real, because I can't explain this thing. And because I can't explain this thing and it makes no sense. And if God is real, like y'all claiming, why would he allow these things to occur? And I can't find the reasoning in it, even years later. I can understand how a person could become atheist once after they had believed at one point.
I get that. See, but dang, that's different. When you say have belief, I can have belief at one point, and then
seen things in the spiritual realm and still.
But I'm not talking about the belief. I'm talking about the experience.
What's more of an experience than having a spiritual experience where you've seen something that is like not in this realm, and you're like,
that's what you're talking. That's what I'm talking about as an experience. But a lot of people just, when you say a belief, you can lose your belief just because you believed in something that someone told you for a certain period of time, and you believed it to be true, and you found out that everything start happening that goes against what you believed or you believe was possible happening to you, that's different. That's so you believed it, but then other things, other sets of facts and experiences and situations pushed against that, and you be like, yeah, I don't believe that no more. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But that's about belief. I'm talking about experiences. Like, for instance,
but that's
I don't care what,
right?
No, that's just a belief. I could believe. I'm saying like this. As well as many other people, believe in scriptures and the Bible. When they talked about Jesus went to the tomb with the disciples and they found the man who was infiltrated by a legion of demons. And he said, what's your name? He said, the legion, for we are many. He cast the demons out and the man was in his right mind, clothed in his right mind. So I could believe that story.
Uh-huh.
But then people can come to me and say other things. Well, that ain't really was what this meant. This meant this and this and that and this and this and that. And then I could see things like that. And then I'd be like, okay, well, maybe that wasn't, I don't believe it. I don't believe it anymore. But that ain't my point, though, you Huguenot. My point is, I didn't see it. Hold on, Denise. I'm saying I've seen those situations with my own eyes. I've seen mute people who are not able to speak or talk open their mouths and start, a demon started opening the mouth and they were talking for them. This is a person that I knew for many, many years. And they never said a word. They walked around with a pen and a pad and they would just write everything that was said. And then one day they were getting prayed for. And then all of a sudden, one of the deacons started rebuking the devil all of a sudden. Do you get on out here, devil? Hold on, what's going on? I thought y'all just praying for a person. Exactly. You don't have to believe it. That's my point.
I
saw it though. I know, but no. You perfectly fine. You feeding into what I'm talking about. Exactly. You didn't see it, so you can or can't. You can believe it, but the belief can be taken away if I tell you something else that happened. Now, me experiencing it, I don't know how that gets taken away. I don't know what someone can say to me to be like, oh yeah, you didn't really see what you thought you just saw.
Not even that.
You just think that the girl couldn't talk. She really could talk all the whole time. You just didn't know. Like, I know what I saw.
I don't think it's that you are convinced that like you didn't see that. It's just that something can happen that is so crucial that could make you go, maybe I saw these things. Maybe these things happen, but this is so intense. This other thing that's happened to me that I also experienced. Again, another experience, some version of an experience, right? And it shifted how I see things and how I view things and how I feel about things. You seeing that shifted, I mean, it took away any doubt that God cannot be real. Once you've seen somebody literally that you've known to not speak for your whole time of knowing them, then be able to speak, that is a life-changing shift. And that can also happen in other ways for people, even with seeing certain things.
But let me even correct that. It's not by me seeing that. I know because of this, I know that God is real. No, what I know is based off of what I experienced, there is another realm that's operating at the same time as us that goes outside of our five senses that we cannot quantify with taste, touch, smell, or sight.
Let me empathize with you on that one.
Okay.
In regards to there's another realm. There is a now I may get the words mixed up, so correct me if I'm wrong. There's a celestial realm and a terrestrial realm. So am I giving that correct? Celestial realm?
Celestial, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the celestial realm is the spirit realm where things happen and manifest that we cannot see. Now, the thing is that spiritual realm, and I'll just say spiritual realm for those who may not be familiar with the terminology, that spiritual realm has the capability of manifesting or interacting with the physical realm. Now, many people may not believe that, but you do have instances in the Bible to where you have that happening, or people right today say, I've seen an angel, or this, that, and the third, or phenomena type uh, um, instances occurring and things of that nature. So you have these two realms merging with one another, and then you have like the barrier in between, but somehow they have the capability of interconnecting with one another. And there's a many other plethora of writings that speaks of. Can you guys hear me? Because it looked like Q was frozen. Frozen. Q, you there?
Yeah, Q is frozen, but I can hear you, Gana.
That speaks of these different types of worlds that has these different types of beings that exist. So when we talk about these type of worlds being in existence, it's a possibility. Because you do have those people that believe that it's a flat Earth, and then you have those who believe that the Earth is spherical.
Mm-hmm.
But those who believe that is a flat that are flat Earth think that there's a world, or say or believe that there's a world beyond that. Traveling beyond the ice wall, or where they could possibly be hiding behind the ice wall. So you have all these, I would say, different dimensions and different worlds that people that has been basically either documented or written about or said, or people have explored and given their testimony of what they're finding. But to the point of its existence, I would say that yes, it is true. In regards to these different dimensions of different worlds out there that we talk about or may be privy to in the natural realm.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the times there's some interactions between the spiritual realm and the physical realm as well.
Do you think that with the different interactions between different realms, do you think that any interaction with another realm is spiritual, or do you think, to the earlier point, is time travel? Like what is going on in this other realm? Do you think in the other realm they're humans in the flesh, or do you think that this is just some totally different space, nothing like this world? And
yeah, I'm gonna go based off what I read, or based off what I researched in regards to the Bible, because the Bible speaks a lot about these I'll say entities that exist that look very, very no, you'll be like, what the hell is that? Like, we don't see that. Like a serpent that has 6 wings. The Bible calls it the seraphim.
Mm-hmm.
That exists in the spiritual realm, but you don't see no serpent with no 6 wings, or you don't see a creature that has the face of a man, and the body of the man, and the wings of an eagle, and the calves of the calf, or something like that. So what they would call mystical type creatures, you may have those type of existence in that world. Now, the only way that somebody can interact and interfere with that realm from this realm is they will have to be invited, or chosen to come into that realm. Like you have, for example, Enoch. The Bible talks about Enoch, how Enoch lived on the earth for 300 years, and then he was taken. He did not experience death.
Mm-hmm.
Eliyahu